Have I ever had imposter syndrome? Well, after viewing the video, I would say, without a doubt, yes, I've had imposter syndrome before. I think it's all something we've been through without even realizing it. Just something that happens in life. We get into situations and we feel like we don't belong. It's one of the most common things that we don't actually realize happens to us a lot in life. I remember one time I had imposter syndrome without knowing what that actually means after watching the video. I had imposter syndrome back in sixth grade. That's a really odd place to have imposter syndrome, but the simple answer that I had imposter syndrome back then, in that particular time, was because in sixth grade, I had just moved to a new school. From first to fifth grade, I went to a school called Valley View. I loved it there. They had animals there. Who doesn't love some animals? Get to play with the zebras, and yeah, we had zebras, believe it or not. Get to play with the billy goats. It was something really fun. Then going over here to a private school called Sabas International School, I'm like, oh, brother, what am I doing here? I gotta make new friends. Am I even gonna make new friends going into a new school? Because if you ever switched schools before at a young age, that's one of the first things you think about. Am I gonna make friends? I remember my first day at that new school, I was all grumpy. I just sat in my seat, didn't say anything, didn't respond to anything unless the teacher called on me. And I remember the teacher said, Alejandro Dominguez, are you here? And then I just said, because I was upset. I did not want to be there. Everyone by that point had already had their friend groups. They were already hanging out with who they wanted to hang out. And I'm over here, just the new kid, just didn't know what to do. It didn't feel like I fit in with that crowd. But as time went on, luckily there were other students who were new students, and they were the gateway to making friends with everyone, because eventually I became friends with the new kids because we had the commonality, hey, we're both new kids. Let's mingle, let's get to know each other. Then from there, other people started to notice that, hey, these guys can talk. They're normal. And over time, the imposter syndrome slowly started to slither on, symbiotically just get off. And I was one with the crowd. I started to open up more, started to laugh, as all kids should at that age. It was just a fun time. And believe it now, ironically enough, I look back at sixth grade as probably one of the best years of my life. I loved that grade. I loved the simpleness of that time. I love everyone from back then. It was just one of the greatest times of my life. Back when there were no worries, it was just all fun. And to think it all started with some imposter syndrome and eventually evolved into one of the greatest times I look back upon in my life. That's all I have to say, and thank you for listening.